All right, Ziggy. Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined by just a devastated Robert Ziggy Ziegler. Absolutely brutal Viking game tonight. You watched the game last week against Philly. There's so many different things, Ziggy, that I need to kind of keep it together. Because when you have games like this, it's very, very, very easy to just go off the rails on these records and have absolutely no sort of a process to how we talk about things here. But I'm watching the game against the Eagles last week, and it's, death by 1,000 cuts of Wentz taking sacks and 1 for 6 in the red zone. We're moving the ball well, and I cannot believe that once again they fooled me into actually thinking this team could be competitive if we fixed up a couple things. They did, because I finished the game. We lost, everyone knows, and I came on the shows this week, all our prediction shows with Herman, with Jack, with everyone. I said, I think we're going to win tonight. I actually think we're going to win tonight. And I don't know how this team does it to me every single time for 27 years of my life now, but they find a way to let me down even more than I thought was possible. It's 34-10. We're recording in the middle of the fourth. The game's not even over. There's 7 minutes left in the game. We started setting up to record in the end of the third quarter. That's how bad it was tonight. And I see we have a very happy chat. Everybody's very happy about this, except 2 people right now. Go ahead. Get a word in before I go on just a torrid rant here.
Well, Paul, I'll tell you, I originally thought Gollywog was going to be album of the year. But I listened to the new Clips album, and I'm thinking that could be album of the year. I mean, it's Pusha T is dropping verses like we've never seen before since like the early Clips days. Malice is back. I can't talk about football. We got to talk about something else. I cannot talk about football after that game I watched.
Is Brosmer in yet at least?
Chat right now saying I'm not sure if I can keep being a Vikings fan after what I just saw.
In Grossi's chat? I'm sure he'll find that very amusing if he sees it.
Everything is going wrong. Everything is going wrong. I'm sorry. I got to talk for a second. Let me get this out.
Please.
We have JJ McCarthy, we're here for. Supposed to come in and be the guy. Sam Darnold playing an MVP level. Daniel Jones playing MVP level. Whatever. We got JJ McCarthy. He's the future.
Oh, which the broadcast, by the way, tonight did not leave unnoticed. How many times were they showing Darnold and Daniel Jones talking about Rodgers or showing McCarthy and how Kirk Herbstreit's the biggest believer of him in the world? It was like they were rubbing it in our face. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
So we've got that. JJ McCarthy's hurt. Carson Wentz comes in. He's already injured. He plays maybe the worst game of football of his career. If Carson Wentz hadn't torn his ACL however many years ago, this man would have been a National Football League most valuable player. Could he win a Heisman playing like this?
And he's been hurt the whole game. Why don't you just put Brosmer in? Just see what we have. I mean, this is pathetic out here.
Put Brosmer in, he's going to be worse.
That's fine. At least see what you have. Why have we been watching the same thing for weeks now? We go up and down the field. We're inside the 5-yard line, and we have intentional grounding, sack time and time again. I mean, I'm watching a shit show here, Ziggy.
Okay,
just throw in Brosmer.
This is not usually what we're like. We usually don't come in here. We're usually not angry. We're usually not upset. Usually we can be objective. We're getting it out right now. This is unbelievable. The level of incompetence I saw from the Minnesota Vikings, and we're not even talking about the highest paid, oldest defense in the league, just about.
Brosmer, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Brosmer.
Yeah. I said in this preview, I am so tired of being a team where teams look at us on the schedule and say, that's our get right game. Philadelphia had that circled, said, that's our get right game. The Steelers had that circled, said, we'll win this no problem. The Chargers have had an up and down offense. Their defense has given up more explosive plays than any other team in the NFL. The Chargers, let's be clear what they're coming off. Here's all their results up until this season. 11-point win over the Raiders to open the season. 3-point win versus the Broncos. Lose to the Giants. Blown out at home versus the Commanders. Beat the Dolphins by 2 on the road. Crushed at home by the Colts. And then we come to town. It's their biggest win of the season.
And everyone looks great. And everyone. How many times tonight, Ziggy? I'm just going to read through some of the statistics here. And Wentz is on the field again, just in writhing pain. It's been a gutsy look. One thing before we continue on with our rants here, this tirade. I couldn't survive in the National Football League. Okay, I just sit down.
Carson Wentz is trying his best.
I'm sitting behind a bar here. Ziggy's sitting behind a desk. obviously we know if we're out on the football field, we're getting lit up, okay? Like, I have nothing but respect for the guys who go out and play, and, they are, they're risking their bodies every single time. We get that, right? Okay, so let's just put that aside. Wentz is gutsy performance tonight from him because he's just getting absolutely crushed. Our line right now, it's Michael Juergens, Justin School, and Walter Roos are playing tonight. So he's getting crushed behind that offensive line, which no one could survive behind. I mean, that's why McCarthy's probably not even going to play next week. Why would you throw JJ out with those guys playing right now? With that said, though, here are the statistics tonight, Ziggy. And this is, midway through the fourth quarter, since it's that
Nothing
bad that
after
we're
this
recording.
point matters. I don't care if we put up 3 touchdowns.
Total plays, 64-41 Chargers. First downs, 28-9 Chargers. Third down efficiency, 8 of 11 for the Chargers, 2 for 10 for the Vikings. Rushing yards, 198-18. 18
I'm sorry,
rushing
which
yards.
team has all their running backs out, and which team just got their number 1 running back back? It must be the Vikings that put up all those rushing yards, right?
Total yards.
We're not getting caught up by Kamani Vidal.
410-135. Time of possession, 34-41 to 19 minutes. It's just an absolute blowout of one of the worst proportions. Like, this is as bad of a blowout as you'll see. You put this in a Super Bowl and they talk about the greatest Super Bowl blowouts of all time. It's an embarrassing performance across the board. Offensively, defensively. I'm surprised special teams hasn't messed something up. I'm just waiting. Well, they did. They did. In a year where kickers are kicking 70-yard field goals, we come up short on a 53-yarder. It's
also,
just
anybody who watches Ziegler Zag knows I was saying that we'd miss a field goal this game. I had some delusion that it might be a close game, right? I thought we might be in it at some point because the Chargers are not a very good football team. And who knows what happened to Christian Darrisaw this game, right? Christian Darrisaw, who knows how long he's going to be out after re-aggravating his knee injury, if you had any reason to believe that things might get better for us.
Why? I mean, why why even play? It's
at this point, man. Throw out the season is over. I remember you sent this. I thought this was the most hysterical thing before the show started. You had 2 thumbnails. You had the season save thumbnail where we're smiling and the season's ruined thumbnail or season's over where we're frowning. I guess I know which one we're going to need. And I knew which one we were going to need after we had a pick 6 called back for basically no reason because the ball sort of bobbled on the ground and was inconclusive. But I'll tell you, if they were going to come out and play like this, you could have given us that pick 6. It doesn't matter.
We got Dillbuck right here. Says, you think Paul would have gotten used to this by now? But seriously, I'd be reacting the same way with how bad they look. And that's what it is. Because when it calms down and you're not live after a game, you actually talk yourself back into it. Or at least the crazy people like me do. Where I'm sitting around and all week I'm going like, you know what? Damn it. Like, we have been moving the ball well. And if we can just if Wentz can stop doing the same things he's done his entire career, it's insanity. It's actual insanity from on my end and the Vikings end tonight. Because I'm watching this game, Ziggy, and it feels like every drop back, it's Justin Herbert takes 3 steps back and then runs up the middle. And I'm like, what? Guys, what are we doing here? It's just like, am I in the Twilight Zone or something? But yeah, as a fan, I'm doing the same thing. Because every single week, I come back and I go, all right, maybe, we have the best receiver in football. Flores is a great coordinator. KOC is a great coach. We can find a way. And it's a fresh cut every single time. It's a fresh cut.
Yeah, and I'll say this,
it's just horrible.
Kevin O'Connell deserves a fair bit of credit for being a good coach, but he does not do the thing that I think the best coaches in the NFL do and adjust the offense they have for the player they have. Like, I think, say what you will about LaFleur and his play calling. He knows that when you've got your backup quarterback coming in for Jordan Love and it's Malik Willis playing, everything has to look totally different. We are running the exact same offense that we were running when Sam Darnold was in town, apparently thinking that Carson Wentz or JJ McCarthy are going to be able to do that. And it's just a disaster every single time.
Dude, and tonight it's from the very beginning. Because when we talked about in the preview of this game, ways that the Vikings can look to take advantage of the Chargers. It was, what has Herbert been doing a lot? He's been turning the ball over a lot lately. And I said, I think that Vikings will have an opportunity for for Herbert to make a costly mistake, gain some momentum. Well, it did happen, right? It happened on the Chargers' first drive of the game. Isaiah Rodgers had a pick six. We're sitting back here. We're going, all right, look at this. All the momentum's there. And I swear, the Vikings have to be one of the only teams in football. I mean, how many teams can you count on your hand that would have that clear cut of a pick six? Hold on a second. Let's check out the replay real quick. And in a ball that's thrown to Isaiah Rodgers' chest, I would say miraculously hits the ground and is incomplete. Because I think I would, again, Isaiah Rodgers has had a great game against the Bengals this year. I couldn't play cornerback, but I would be able to make that catch. I will say that. I would be able to make that catch. And after last week, 2 touchdowns overturned against the Eagles, maybe it's just something about L.A., thinking back to the playoff game where Matthew Stafford had the fumble that Andrew Van Ginkel Cashman returned for a touchdown, and then they overturned it. Maybe something about the Vikings in L.A., but I swear, man, every time it looks like this team has something good happen for them, there's something that happens miraculously that takes it off the board. And I think that truly did affect the entire game, because you even heard KOC at the end of the first quarter saying, had a chance there with that pick six. Like, it was on everyone's mind. Everyone watching the game.
No doubt that would have made some difference in the game, but our offense hasn't been able to do anything tonight, and a pick six doesn't change that. Like, I know
no,
a pick
probably
six
not,
is as good a football play as you can possibly have, but when we're down here losing by 24, when our offense has put up like 1 touchdown, and it was a touchdown in a very short field coming again off a Herbert interception that was, again, sort of a miraculous play from our defense. No, I'm not going to sit here and act like I think a pick six would have changed the outcome of this game.
No, I don't think. I don't think it would change the entire game. But I'm sorry, I'm not guaranteeing that it would change the entire game. But you never know. Like, crazy plays happen, and if Herbert's all of a sudden off, things can change. And when you have that impactful of a play early, flipped around that quickly, and the Vikings follow it up, right? Because it's not only did the call get overturned, but the Vikings follow it up by allowing LA to go on a 14-play touchdown drive where they're 4 for 4 on third down, including a 3rd and 13. That changes the game. That changes the way you're thinking. That changes momentum. It changes everything. And again, we got our asses kicked. But that opening was about as bad as you could possibly have. Stopped on 3rd and 1. We decide not to punt. Pick six overturned. 14-play drive, 4 for 4 on third down. And I'm watching that 3rd and goal, Ziggy. I'm going, all right, this is going right over the middle of whoever's going to run over the middle of the field is going to be wide open here. Like, if I can diagnose it from home, I'm imagining that Harbaugh is able to figure out as well. I've seen Flores do this a million times, and it makes no sense. So they're showing Justin Jefferson here. This poor guy, man. If we had a quarterback, if we had an offensive line, Justin Jefferson's so talented, and he I think I saw, like, Vikings Nation, someone tweeted out, I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember the credit for it, was just saying Jefferson's been so patient, and he's such a good superstar to have. At some point, you got to get pissed off, because this is just absurd. It's just absurd.
We might be getting there.
Well, I'm there. I mean, I
don't mean you and me.
There.
I mean, I think Justin Jefferson might be there.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone's
the dude's
pissed.
got, I don't know how many diamond chains, diamond earrings, diamond teeth. Like, the dude is covered in diamonds. I think the only extra piece of jewelry he wants is a ring, and I don't think he's getting it. Our good friend Andy Herman just tweeted out Justin Jefferson should demand a trade to the AFC.
All right.
I get why Andy's saying
that. I would do it if I were Andy. Yeah, try and fuel the fire.
If I'm Justin Jefferson, if things don't start looking up for JJ McCarthy, are things really going to get better here?
I don't think Jefferson's the kind of guy who's going to force his way out, though. He's never been like that.
These guys never are until they are.
No, but you can see, even Diggs had his problems. You have the George Pickens of the world. Like, the guys who are I don't know why I threw a shot at Pickens there. I'm sorry. But the guys who are troublemakers are typically troublemakers throughout their time. Jefferson has been the furthest thing. Oh, look, if we trade Justin, like Moss, Harvin, Diggs, right, all the elite Vikings receivers that have found their way out of Minnesota have had problematic tendencies in the past. Adam Thielen, who, eventually left because he got older and we let him go. Jefferson's much more like him than those other guys who eventually left. The show that we would have if the Vikings traded Justin Jefferson. I can't even fathom it. It would be whatever this is times 100. That would, oh my gosh, that would just be. All right. Oh, here's Brosmer. All right, let's see. Oh, it's just going to probably get lit up here. You know what this is, Ziggy? And as the game was going on, this became clearer and clearer to me here. This offseason, so obviously everyone knows the Vikings were 14-3 last year. Unbelievable season, terrible ending at Detroit and at the Rams in the playoffs, mirroring the 2 losses the Vikings had earlier in the year at Detroit and at LA, back-to-back in weeks like 6 and 7 or something like that. We go into this offseason, and we just made horrendous decisions. That's what it came down to. And at the time, a lot of them, I agreed with most of them. I can't say all. We all saw my reaction on draft night when we passed up.
The season's over, Paul.
No, the season's over. But what
hit me. The season is over.
Yeah, the season's over. The season was over. I called it at 10:43 tonight, which was much later than it probably should have been called. The season's over. It's over, Ziggy.
The season's over. This was supposed to be a year where maybe we don't win a Super Bowl, but where JJ McCarthy ascends and takes his team to the playoffs with one of the best rosters in football.
It's just going to get worse.
Supposed to be.
They're showing our schedule right now. At the Lions, Ravens, Bears, at Packers. I mean, it's going to be one of the years from hell. We just can't string together good seasons. But I want to go back to this for a second. We're in the offseason. And clearly now we can all agree, we all know, that the decision to move on from Darnold, the decision to move on from Jones, the decision to not sign Rodgers for JJ was a horrible decision. For this season, at least. You know, maybe JJ will come back and have a good end of the year, and we'll have some momentum for 2026. But as far as the 2025 season goes, and competing with a roster that a lot of people thought was good enough to be a playoff team, maybe a Super Bowl caliber team with good quarterback play, the decision to have JJ be the starter was just horrendous. He can't get on the field.
They were wrong.
He can't get on the field. He cannot get on the field, and the other guys.
It would be one thing if when he were on the field during those games, we saw what they saw in him, and then we could say, well, he's had 2 sort of unlucky injuries. We have not seen yet what they were supposed to see in him that made him better than Darnold, better than Daniel Jones.
You know, and it's not just that; it's the other 3 have all been fantastic. And I said something that has frustrated me so much is that I have a hard time getting too mad at O'Connell and Kwesi because, you know, they believed in this guy. And a lot of us wanted to believe in it too. Where we can get upset is that they evaluated him right before the draft. They evaluated him all of rookie minicamp, all training camp coming in. He didn't beat out Darnold. Am I misremembering that? But Sam Darnold was going to be the starter even if JJ hadn't gotten hurt.
Yeah, that's likely.
Am I misremembering? Maybe it was a battle, but I'm pretty sure that JJ didn't wow them enough to win the job, clearly at least, in 2024. And somewhere between him getting hurt and us letting Sam go, in that timeline, Sam throws for 4,500 yards and 34 or 35 touchdowns. We go 14-3. And we saw Daniel Jones, right? And we saw Rodgers play well at the end of the year. Somewhere in there, O'Connell believed that JJ was ready to take this team to the next level. And I don't know where it came from. That's where we can get mad. Because O'Connell and Kwesi.
We need to see it soon.
We need to see it soon. But that's where we can get mad. And no one's out here calling for Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa or Kevin O'Connell to lose their jobs. We think they're very good at what they do. But this was a really important decision. And I don't know where the belief that we could elevate over the guys who are playing so well right now came from. I'm not sure. And maybe part of it was just hope. Because that's what it was for me. A lot of it was, all right, like, I trust that these guys can get JJ to where he needs to be so that we can be even better than we were last year. Or maybe, you know, I guess in 2 years we can be even better. And part of what stinks about this whole process is that JJ just can't even get on the field to give them a chance to be right. So they've been wrong to begin with, and they don't even have the chance to be right. It's just it's a nightmare. As the final score is 37-10 here, O'Connell and Jim Harbaugh.
Zag hit.
Yeah, congratulations on Zigger Zag. Will Reichert to have under 7.5 points. I forgot tonight was a little bit of a Jim Harbaugh revenge game as well. My father pointed out to me from a couple of years ago
None of that matters.
when the Vikings.
None
No,
of
no,
that
I know. I'm
matters.
just throwing it out there. The Vikings chose Kevin O'Connell over Jim Harbaugh. Just saying that was
Yeah, I'm
out
just
there.
what matters. We just lost by 27 points to an average football team.
To a team that has lost 3 of the last 4 losses to a Commanders team which has been flopping, a Colts team which I mean just kick their ass. Colts are awesome, and the Giants. Who, to be fair to the Giants, have been playing better with Dart, but it's not like the Giants went in there and ran it up on the Chargers. The Chargers have just been playing bad football, and we made them look. Ziggy, I mean, come on, look at the games lately. Chargers look like the 07 Patriots tonight. Did they punt? I don't think they punted one time.
It's the first time they haven't punted since 2021.
Yeah, there wasn't a single punt tonight. Jalen Hurts, everyone's saying Nick came on his show and said it was the best game he's ever seen Jalen Hurts have last week.
And it was the best Jalen Hurts game I've ever seen as a passer.
Rodgers marched up and down the field. Penix, I mean, we were bend, don't break, but the defense has been terrible. The only reason we had the good Bengals games because Isaiah Rodgers tapped into something. I mean, he's like in the Matrix.
And because Jake Browning was the
Browning
worst
was
starting
horrible.
quarterback in the NFL.
Dylan Gabriel played well. It was just like
even Caleb Williams. They lost that game, but he had a strong game.
Well, that's one of the next things in this offseason that we messed up, and it was another major concern coming into the season. And you saw it tonight. The secondary stinks. It's horrible. I don't know what was going on with Mekhi Blackman when we let go of him and we bring in Jeff Okudah, who, in the offseason, people are saying, all right, Okudah, maybe he found something. And it's just offseason smoke, clearly, because Okudah's getting destroyed every week. I don't know. And then the draft, we have a couple guys available. We decided to go Donovan Jackson. We're building up this offensive line. We rolled the dice on Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. 2 guys coming off big injuries. Fries has been okay. Kelly came in and was awesome, but he got hurt again. And it's a combination of poor decision-making and bad luck. And when you combine poor decision-making with bad luck, you get absolute nightmare scenarios. And that's where we are.
I told my roommate before this game, not after, that if it weren't my job to watch these games, I would not watch the Minnesota Vikings for the rest of the season. I love doing this show. I love all 1,500 of you that are in the chat right now. And if you haven't yet and you're enjoying what we do here, there's a lot more Vikings misery to come this year. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment. If it weren't my job, I would not be watching these games. And honestly, right now, after watching that, I wish it weren't.
Wasted. A great Thursday night.
We didn't have a podcast. I wish I didn't have to watch the Minnesota Vikings. I wish we weren't live right now. Like, I can't keep doing this, Paul. I can't keep. It's the hope that kills you.
It's insanity, Ziggy. It's the same. It's insanity. That's the definition, right? Am I wrong? Someone tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't insanity the definition of doing the same thing? What the popular saying of insanity is doing the same thing. Yes, the popular one, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's what we do. It's what we do here, over and over and over again. And it's been so bad since going to Detroit. I was so happy, football wise. Okay, generally speaking, I'm pretty happy guy. Let's not get too carried away here. Football wise, though, I was so happy in January of 2025. Notre Dame's on top of the world. We're going to the national championship. The Vikings are 14-3. We're going to Detroit with the defense allowing 35 points per game. And a red-hot Sam Darnold. We're going to be the 1 seed. And we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And since then, it's just been a nightmare. It's always a nightmare. It's just been terrible since then. And everything we've done has been really, really bad. And thank God for it, other than that awesome fourth quarter against the Chicago Bears.
Oh. No, I wish we didn't have that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter made me think there might be something to this season. And there's not. That was the grand illusion, right? That was the last thing they needed to show us so we could believe that maybe maybe JJ McCarthy could save the season. Maybe he was clicking in. Remember week 1, Andy Herman asked us, would you trade JJ McCarthy for Caleb Williams? And you said, no, JJ's our guy. He's proven it. I'm riding with him.
Yeah, I do remember saying that.
That was just 6 weeks ago. We were so innocent. Oh, I can't do it, Paul. I can't do it.
I'm just thinking ahead to next week, and it's like, are you really gonna throw JJ out there behind School, Jurgens, and Roos? Is that gonna I want him to play?
No, I'll tell you what's offensive. We have people in the comments saying we can hop on the Bears bandwagon. You know how bad it has to be for us for people to say you can hop on the Bears bandwagon, and for me to think at least that would be better.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going like, all right, well, yeah, it's not a bad idea. Weston down, good buddy Weston. Got some extra room in Chicago there, Soldier Field. No, it's dude, I'd go so far to say that right now, the rest of this season and forward looking, it's hard to find many worse situations than the Minnesota Vikings as far as who you want to be a fan of. And I know people are going to come in and you mentioned the Jets. Sure. Look, I'm not going to come out here and argue that it's not bad to be a Jets fan. I might be crashing out, but I'm not crazy. You might throw out the Browns, right? Sure. Sucks to be a Browns fan. And I do agree that mind-numbing badness is worse than the Vikings' heartbreak. You build your hopes up, crash you down. It stings like hell though on this side of it. Just so you know, right? You're not used to this feeling of just being brought up and torn down to pieces time and time again. But the thing that we have that they don't is we actually have promise at in certain positions, right? Like just like offense.
We have one of the best rosters in football right now.
I don't even know if we. I don't know if we even do. Ziggy.
It should be based on the amount of talent that's on this team. This should be one of the best rosters in football. Right? This is the thing. The expectations are different. The expectations for this year were not like, boy, if we win a few games and JJ McCarthy looks okay, it'll be a fine season. The expectations were, if JJ McCarthy plays well enough, we start the year like 9th in Super Bowl odds.
Yeah,
we were a team where people were saying if things break,
were we 9th?
They can make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate. I totally forgot that we were top 10 in Super Bowl odds. Were we really top 10 in Super Bowl odds?
I'm pretty sure we were.
Yeah, it's just, but it's not only at the quarterback position. That's what's so annoying about all this. The quarterback position, as it should get the most attention, it does, and it has been the biggest mistake by far. But the line has been a disaster. Aaron Jones got hurt. Addison was suspended. The secondary sucks. The D-line's hurt. The linebackers are hurt. Matters. It's just every single thing that could go wrong is going wrong. And we're sitting here in week 8, and it's like, how are we gonna do another 10 weeks of this? I don't know. And you know what's also we haven't even mentioned any of these teams' names other than maybe becoming a Bears fan. The Bears, Packers, and Lions are thriving. This is just horrible.
And Andy Herman from Packaday just told us that the Minnesota Vikings are 22nd in Super Bowl odds. Hey, Andy.
Oh, is Andy in here?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Andy.
This is just.
Hope you're having fun.
No, I mean this is the nightmare season. This is the season from hell, like you said, because not only is everything going wrong for us, just about everything that could be going right. Let's not forget the Green Bay Packers have Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Right. It's easy to forget how ridiculous it is, but our season started with the Green Bay Packers adding the best defensive player in football. They are the 1 seed in the NFC. The Detroit Lions just dominated at home and a Super Bowl contender. The Bears have the best looking offense and best looking team culture they've had at least since 2018 and probably since before then. And we're at the bottom of the division. There's complete chaos among the quarterbacks. I'm half expecting someone on our team to get caught up in this FBI probe because the only explanation I can come up with for why this is going so bad is the mafia is making Kevin O'Connell throw games. Like, that's where this team is
Ziggy,
right now.
And if there was ever a season, if there was ever a year where where the Vikings coming in with this like kind of make or break like team, right? Where it's all right, things go our way, it could be really good. This is the year for that to happen. Because the rest of the league, it's wide open. Like last year, of course, the year that if you take last year's Vikings team and put them in right now, they're going to be the 1 seed. They're going to be the 1 seed. But of course, it happens in the year where Detroit's 15-2 and unbeatable. It's just like, I mean, I guess that's just what it is. Man, why do we even? Like, we don't have to get.
This is who we are.
We don't have to get. Yeah, we don't have to run in circles here. But it's just, you can come up with literally any scenario, any player, like whatever you want to think about. It's just been bad, and it's really unfortunate. Yeah, you and Andy were right in predicting this game. I cannot believe.
I tried to tell you.
I cannot believe that I was fooled again. Thrown in your face wrong. I mean, this is just like embarrassingly wrong.
The Vikings, if they lose a close game in LA, right? You can hear the conversation. It's Thursday night football. They're on the road. There's the time zone change. It's JJ McCarthy will be back soon. If it's a close game, you can sort of talk yourself into it. If you can't beat the Chargers or keep it close, you are not a contender. It's that simple. The Chargers are this year's Seahawks.
Maybe. I mean, but it's like I've seen someone here saying like, how could it be much better, or how could it be much worse to be a Bears fan than Vikings fan? Because we were kind of doing, look, right now I'd rather be a Bears fan. Okay, so let's not get upset about that. If we're talking about, why we make that joke, I mean, guys, like if you're a Bears, I don't know if he's a Bears fan now who's commenting that, but come on, like. The Vikings have competitive seasons, right? Like the Bears have 2017 and 2010, like 06. I mean, like that's really been like, been it. That's why we make the joke. But yeah, no, right now you're 4-2. You're on 4. If you beat, I was saying if the Bears beat Baltimore this week and go to 5-2, it just might be the most impactful game of the season in that it puts Baltimore on the very, very edge of being irrelevant the rest of the year. And it validates Chicago, to me. If they beat Baltimore with all the guys
going. If Chicago wins that game, they're going to
the playoffs. Like this Bears game could be awesome. It could be an unbelievable. This would be the biggest Bears win in I honestly don't know. Like
it might be the biggest regular season Bears win in our lifetime.
I think it would be. I really think it would.
It'd be the biggest Bears win since at least 2010.
Because it not only makes you contenders for this year, but in the back of your mind at least, and we know things can go wrong. Trust me, I know things can go wrong. Bears fans know things can go wrong. It makes you think that the future might actually be pretty bright. You know who our leading rusher was tonight? Do you know, Ziggy?
No, I don't.
He had 2 carries.
Was it Jordan Mason?
Nope. In the fourth quarter.
Was it? Oh, is that like rookie running back that caught that ridiculous pass a few weeks ago?
Xavier Scott?
Yeah.
Yes. 2 carries for 16 yards. Led the team in rushing. Pushed us over 20 yards and 30 yards on the night. Hey, dude. I'm just going to read this one more time because I really cannot. But now that it's final, I just wanted to get this off my chest one more time. First downs, 29-12. Third down conversions. Chargers, 9 for 13. Does anyone have a calculator? What's 9 or 13?
I can't listen.
What is that?
You read it off. Let me know when you're done.
9 divided by 13. 69% on third down. Who's allowing 69% conversion on third down? We're 3 for 11. Total yards, 419 to 164. Rushing, 207 to 34. Time of possession, 39 minutes and 4 seconds to the Chargers to 20 minutes and 56 for the Vikings. The Chargers on the night, let's just confirm it, don't punt. They go touchdown, touchdown, missed field goal, touchdown, field goal, interception, touchdown, field goal, field goal. Embarrassing. 37-10. I have to watch Kimani Vidal out here looking like, Barry Sanders. It's just insane.
And congratulations to him. Great game. I'm not the Chargers. Yeah, we're not mad at the Chargers, right? They played good football. They deserve their win. It's just ridiculous that every single week it feels like it's the Minnesota Vikings that get to help teams get their season back on the right track.
I was talking with producer Zach right after our show, Ziggy, on yesterday. Yeah, on Wednesday. And I was telling him, like, I don't know, trade for Tua. Like I know I'm just completely losing my mind here and just being hypothetical. I actually think Tua Tagovailoa on the Vikings would be really good, but maybe I'm just an idiot. At this point, maybe
this is the level of cope you have hit. Let's add Tua levels.
I mean,
I read in The Athletic this morning, they're like, the Vikings should trade 2 third-round picks for Mac Jones. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'd rather see Mac Jones out there throwing the ball, and Mac Jones is not good.
Oh, I mean, I would. I'd trade 2/3 for Mac Jones, I guess. Like at this point, would I try and save the season? I don't know. Maybe this is why you need to take 24 hours after things like this. So I'm spilling stuff all over the place. You take 24 hours after things like this and just take a deep breath. Yeah, see, people are coming in, bro, are you delusional? Tua's not good.
Even producer Zach is telling you you're delusional.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was okay. That's Zach who's saying that. Tua on the Vikings would be very good. Like anyone who disagrees with
Tua
that.
on the Dolphins was very, very good.
No, Tua would be very good on the Vikings. I don't know. Like I wouldn't give. Look, we're not going to even get into what we'd give up and stuff like that. All I'm saying is, if he was on the Vikings, he'd be solid. Okay, I really believe that. And Mac Jones, I think, would also be solid. But at this point, I don't know if you go and make. First off, San Francisco's not going to trade Mac Jones like that. They're not going to do that right now. They need him, and. The Tua stuff is just ridiculous. I'm just talking out of my,
Is it fire sale season in Minnesota, Paul?
Who?
Like the trade deadline is next week.
Right? That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. That's the game's going on. I'm like, did we just blow this thing up? Like at what point? You have Jefferson who's untouchable, right? Obviously, Justin Jefferson's untouchable. The rest of this, and Darrisaw's untouchable. The rest of this team, I'm like, where are we going? What's the direction? The plan is JJ. And that's a very scary plan to have for an organization right now.
Can we get Joe Flacco in before we play the Packers?
What do you do with this year? I think you're just stuck with this team here. The decision is, do you blow it up? That's the decision. And you need to, right now, I'm not going to get too far into it because I'm going to say ridiculous things. I mean, Carson's crying on the sideline. Like, I don't know.
Carson's probably crying because he's in
because he's hurt. Yeah, because he's hurt. If you were Kwesi and you start getting calls for Jonathan Grenard and you get calls, I'm trying to even think who else people would be called. Addison. You get calls for Addison.
Okay, no, producer Zach is calling me a Packers fan. We got to stop this. We've got to stop this. I'm not putting on the jersey. I'm not a Vikings fan. I knew this is what I signed up for. I didn't know how much it would hurt, but I knew this is what I signed up for. But yeah, like, Paul, I mean, who are you trading? Like, you can trade. I don't know who on this team on the contract they're on people would want. Like, nobody's going to want any of our free agent additions, right?
No, that's
trading someone like Andrew Van Ginkel just doesn't make any sense.
Well, Van Gink hasn't played in 4 weeks either. Like, if someone's going to make a move, it would be for Grenard or Addison. And you're like, there's just not enough to blow it up. Like, this is just who we are. And there's definitely talent there. Like, we have talented guys. But I think, as someone mentioned in the comment section before, we keep talking about this team like the roster's really deep. It might just not be that good this year. We might just be far.
There's a lot of star power, but the stars mostly have not played up to their level or else have been hurt.
Yes, the injuries have also, and I'm not making excuses here. I'm just saying that there is a lot of.
It's a causal explanation.
Yes, there is a lot of top end talent that has been hurt. Not just in this game. Cashman missed a lot of time. Obviously, Aaron Jones did as well. The line has been hurt the entire season. But there's clearly some big holes, and it's in the secondary. It's at quarterback. So I think the only thing that we're gonna need or we're going to have to do here is be patient with it and see what happens. That, like, we can't, that we're not making any moves to save this year. We're just going to need to, like we did when we made the decision in March of this year, we're going to need to hope that JJ can come in and find some success. And right now, there's not a lot of optimism surrounding the Minnesota Vikings. That's for sure. That's for sure. The schedule, as Mitch points out here. And then listen to this here. The rest of the season. At Detroit, hosting Baltimore, who will be in must-win mode. Hosting the Bears, who've won 4 in a row. At Green Bay. At Seattle. Hosting the Commanders. At Dallas, Sunday Night Football. At the Giants, who are playing a lot better. Hosting the Lions, hosting Green Bay. Dude, we have 3 wins. Like, this could be a 5-12 year. Like, it could. It really could. And then things get very interesting. We'll see what happens with JJ as time goes on. I think that's just what we need to wait for. But if the Vikings are picking top 10, dude, I don't know. Like, the quarterback will be in play if they like someone. It's also not a good quarterback draft. So it's... Look, ending part of this discussion with this here. The only thing that we need to hope for is that JJ comes back and shows a semblance of being good enough that we can play him next year. That is the only thing to root for.
That's the only goal for the rest of the season.
Yes, that's it.
Results don't matter anymore.
Nothing matters except JJ being ready.
I'm fine if we lose every single game. I'd prefer we lose every single game if JJ McCarthy looks good.
And it crushes me. It really crushes me, Ziggy, because... and you haven't experienced this because you're a newer Vikings fan. The Vikings have these generational players. Jefferson, Peterson, Moss, right? Not like really good, because there are some teams who can come out and, like, right now the Rams might be like, oh, Puka's awesome. Puka's amazing. You might have, I'm trying to think of another, like the Jonathan Taylor. Awesome in Indianapolis. The Vikings have like top 10 players ever at their position, and you're just watching their careers waste away. And maybe each one of them Moss had 98, Peterson had 09, Jefferson hasn't had his team yet. We had 14-3 was great last year.
Last year might be that team. We might look back and say that was the team.
They were 13-4 with Kirk, but that defense was the worst in football. It could be last year's, but usually it's the Vikings every 10 years or so have had a team that I sit back on the couch and go, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And again, maybe I'm crazy for doing that, but I really believed in 2017. I really believed in 09. I was months old in 98, but I know for sure that everybody in Minnesota was going, that team should win the Super Bowl. And you're just watching these all-time talents wither away. It's 1 year. We can't string together like 3-4 year windows here. The Lions have strung together a 3-year window right now, and it's going to go on for a little while longer. The Packers have been 30 years of excellence. And I'm watching these, I'm just watching these teams now going like, why can't we just figure it out so that we can be competitive? Like, think about the years we have after. Like in 2010, we sucked. In 2018, we missed the playoffs after teams that we all thought could win the Super Bowl. And that is a product maybe of it's poor construction. You have that 1 year, but you got to be able to spread it out more. You need to have consistent competitiveness, because if you're relying...
the quickest way you lose consistent competitiveness, jettison your quarterback. Replace him with a first-time starter. Look, I understand why we did the JJ McCarthy thing.
Ziggy,
we have to get over it.
That's why. But you get it. That's an important point you made. That's why O'Connell made the JJ decision. What I just said. And it's the reason I supported it too. It's because the only way, right? Think about the quarterbacks for those teams I said. 1998, it's old Randall Cunningham. 2009, old Brett Favre. 2017, older Case Keenum. The reason we went with JJ is because the teams that win the Super Bowls, Mahomes, Brady, Manning, Breeze, these teams that win have their guy. And we're hoping to find him. And you need him. So that's why even if we're like this mistake of Darnold and this mistake with Rodgers and this mistake with Daniel Jones, maybe Darnold was that guy. That's a chance. I'm not sure even now. But that's why the decision was made. You need your guy. And that's why I supported it at the time. And it has just backfired in
a spectacular way.
Spectacular fashion.
And the thing is, it's not like if we had 1 year of Rodgers, this was the end of JJ McCarthy's career. He gets less playing time. He has to roll out year 3. He has to do the Jordan Love thing.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted.
If you were gonna convince me on someone, I agree that Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, it starts to become awkward. Aaron Rodgers was the perfect opportunity. A guy who's got 1 year left in the tank, who can win it now, who has shown he still has something. Like, complete the cycle.
Yeah, I mean, I think I predicted it. Our buddy Evan Cook's big Packer fan. I used to send him Rodgers in Minnesota edits like, 2017, 2018. Like it was you just begging for it to come. And I remember lining up Kirk Cousins' deal expiring with Rodgers and was like, wait a second, this could actually work here. And it made all the sense in the world. And I have no doubt in my mind, that if Rodgers was a Viking this year, it would be one of those 98, 09, 2017 special seasons. And it would fit perfectly with the timeline of helping JJ get to a point where he could take over next year. I have no doubt. But here we are. All right. Zuko, Rodgers would have played in Minnesota. 100%. Let's run through these super chats and get out of here. This is ridiculous.
And we appreciate all these super chats. We appreciate a lot of support tonight. It makes the losses feel a little bit less bad. If you want to show more support, if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button. Feel free to like. Feel free to leave a comment. We're chasing down 25,000. We're incredibly close. It's not going to wash the pain of this defeat away.
That could help us.
It really wouldn't help us.
No, well, that would make me feel better if we could get to 25,000 because we're at 24.54 right now. So, yes, if you haven't subscribed.
If everybody who's watching this who hasn't subscribed to us presses that subscribe button, we'll at 25,000 right now.
Yeah, probably. And I don't really like to ask for the subscriptions because I get really tired of that like culture of like, people on there like, hey, subscribe to my channel. But it would help us.
We've done 2 in like 50 minutes. I'll call that acceptable.
Fair enough. Yes, that would really help us. Appreciate it. All right. What's everyone saying here? I am sure that the Packer-led conversation of super chats will make us feel better here. So let's run through.
It's I'm sorry for your loss. Go Pat, go.
That's one thing.
Fatal Massacre.
That's one thing, Ziggy, that always gets me when I'm like I'm so tired of with the Vikings. I get texts. It's like a funeral. I'm getting texts. It's like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Do you know how many times in my life it's been a Viking primetime game or a Viking game of the week where everyone's watching, and in the fourth quarter of the game, I'm getting texts from people I don't even people I haven't talked to in a long time. It's like, dude, tough one. So sorry. And I'm like, what?
At some point, you're going to get one of those texts from Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Richard's on right here. Oh, gosh.
No, I mean, it's like, you know what? I'm going to put this one squarely. I know you're producing for him this weekend. Hopefully he doesn't watch this. I'm putting this loss squarely on Richard Sherman. He did the skull right before the game on the Thursday Night Football. He brought this on us.
I know that one day, and this is, again, I understand what I'm doing to myself here. I know one day that all of those I'm sorry texts will be made up for with texts of, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. You did it. Super Bowl.
Eschatological.
I know that one day, and I hope it's soon. I really hope that my dad can see a Viking Super Bowl.
He might not.
And he knows that too. I mean, Ziggy, we're like, a couple decades away from me starting to have to wonder as well, because it's all lollygagging right now from my timeline, but it comes up on you pretty quick. All of a sudden, you're looking at the clock and you're looking at the calendar, you're like, ooh.
How bad did the Minnesota Vikings lose that you're sitting here thinking I could die before I see a Vikings Super Bowl?
Dude, I'm thinking about my dad when he was like, 15 years old. He's like, yeah, there's no freaking, like, we got the purple people. Or my dad at what, 10 years old? He's like, we got the purple people eaters here. Here we are. And he's like, oh, shit. Like, come on, JJ. Come on, JJ. Like, I know though one day, and I hope that everyone who I know who's Vikings fans is there to see it. I just can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. All right, what next?
Well, we've also got Mike Kimber here from Lions Talk by Chat Sports saying that Lions fans feel the same way. I'm sure Bears fans would feel the same way. Like, it's just, this is what the NFC North is. The Packers get to bring in their Super Bowls. Nobody else does.
Yeah, okay, there is definitely a little. Everyone knows that there's a unspoken alliance. We don't really talk about too much, but unless the Lions, Bears, and Vikings, we have a common enemy. We all know that, and it's pretty miserable. Like we got between the three of us, and I have I can take no solace in this, and I can take no pride in this, but between the three of us, we have 1985. That's it. I mean, it's horrible. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
All right. This one's from a low tier trash. Where did the Vikings run game go? LOL.
I left with Adrian Peterson or Dalvin Cook. It's been gone for a while.
D Mize, as a Packer fan, y'all are the only Vikings fans I feel bad for. Just continuing nice with the trend.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, look, what did it was George Costanza, right? Pity's underrated. I'll take the pity. Like it might be a little upsetting to see these texts come in, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Beast Bumblebee, I saw you guys in Tom Grossi's chat. When will you guys just come out and admit you're Packers fans? Join us, Tom, Andy, etc.
It is a great group. Look, I'll tell you, Packers fans, awesome people, great people. It's part of what drives me crazy about them. They're all so damn nice. I told you last year we were at the Viking, or last year we were at the Viking Giant playoff game a handful of years ago. Our good buddy Joe Frankowski's with us. He's a big Packer fan. He wore a Packer shirt. Wasn't happy about it, but he came to the game. You make sacrifices for your family friends. And a couple Vikings fans started jeering him, and I may have thrown in a couple boos too. Finally, we're like, okay, he's with us. It's all good. He's actually a really nice guy. And the Vikings fans turn around and go, that's the problem. They usually are. And that is a problem. But it's a great group. I'm happy that you guys are in your little utopia of green and gold and Titletown and trophies and cheese, whatever, bratwurst, beer. Not on this side of the border, man. Not on this side. All right. What else?
We've got another one. This is a similar one from Comantra, the Wolf. Watch you guys quite a bit. I'm a Packers fan, so on the one hand, LOL. On the other hand, I feel bad for you guys. Kale Basmati, can't burn third stringer Max Brosmer's red shirt like that. Got to wait until we can keep it up before he gets game time.
Why not? Why just throw him in, man? Just throw him in. Let him do his thing.
This is one from a Burn Detroit Lions fan. Jim Harbaugh despises the Vikings, their organization, the state of Minnesota in general. This
Seems
one
like
did feel personal.
Yeah, that does feel a little personal. Yeah. Look, maybe Ziggy, there was a little bit of revenge in this. We chose O'Connell over him. I can't tell if Ziggy's frozen or just upset.
No, I mean, we did. Fair enough.
You were actually not
frozen. I was just running through the possible worlds. What happens if we add Harbaugh? And I don't think it looks any better. Maybe Harbaugh, he got something out of JJ McCarthy in college. Maybe we should propose a coach swap with the Chargers.
JJ has to be on the field first before I can get, he's had 7 horrendous quarters, but he's got to be on the field before I freak out about him and more.
This one's from Pony's Picks. Who's the scumbag side here? Is it Wentz for wanting to play or the Vikings knowing he's messed up from long ago in the game? I don't think either side did something wrong here. Like, Brosmer's not ready to play. JJ McCarthy's not ready to play. This is just a disaster on all sides from Carson Wentz. And it's not like he did anything wrong. He gutted it out. He played a good performance. I think he was physically able to play football. This is just a failure on the whole team.
Yeah, it was horrible. I was not I was not rooting for anything bad to happen to Carson Wentz in this game. But as I'm watching
No.
him walk off the field in excruciating pain for the third time after throwing, interceptions, taking just terrible sacks time and time and time again. And yes, the line is horrible, but a lot of them were also on Carson for just not letting it rip. As I'm watching him come off the field, dude, I'm like, just play Brosmer. Just see what you have. It might be horrible. It probably will. But do I need to see this again? No. This fatal massacre one here, if that happened, I would stop watching football.
If Justin Jefferson goes to the Packers, we're shutting down the pod.
Yes. And I
We
you
will
know
have
what?
one more react to the ultimate Paul Farrington show misery react, and then we're done.
Yes, I will agree to that. The podcast ends if Justin Jefferson becomes a Packer. And I mean that totally. Totally mean it. I will be done with NFL football. It'll be all Notre Dame. And then I'll just, go for walks on Sunday and get people to convince me to go to farmers markets with them and then politely find a way out. And I'll sleep in.
What's the problem with the farmers market?
The farmers market's fine. I just don't really have. I'd just rather sleep in. All right. We have a handful more.
Just got here. Glad to see there's still a Paul in the Paul Farrington show. Was worried he'd find a nearby bridge after that performance.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I thought about it, Paul. Did you?
No.
I mean, I didn't think about a bridge. I thought about, there's a train station about 10 minutes away. They run every 10 or 15 minutes.
This get like what we had 3 live reacts last year, right? We had the the horrible Rams Thursday night game, the horrible Detroit basically playoff game for the 1 seed, and then the Rams playoff loss. All 3 of those were worse than this tonight. And
I don't think so. This is the worst Viking game I've seen as a Vikings fan.
Oh, the individual game, yeah. Well, oh man, I don't know that Detroit.
I don't mean worse in the sense of absolute worst on field. This was the most crushing.
Big difference is with this one. This is the least amount of optimism and hope for the future that I've had by far of the 4. At every point last year, I felt great about. Even after the Rams playoff game, I'm like, all right, we're moving in the right direction. I think we're moving in a really, really bad. We're heading to a bad spot. Someone said earlier, like this train's going toward a cliff, and I think I agree.
All right, we've got let's keep going through these
let's roll
DMIs.
through.
On the bright side tonight, you completed the Wentz football roller coaster. He showed you has no business starting anymore.
Yeah,
I saw a notification before the game. Depending on how Wentz plays, we might consider starting him next week. Yeah, I don't think so.
It just can't. You can't. It has to, even if McCarthy can't go, it has to be Brosmer. It just see what you have. And if Brosmer's so bad that you need to put Wentz in, do it. But I'm not. I like Carson Wentz, and he did a good job of keeping us relevant for a while. But it's getting really bad. What's the next one here? Burn?
We've got Burn coming in. Since that fourth quarter meltdown from Chicago, the Bears are 4-1.
Yeah.
We're 2-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears have been playing a lot better.
This is from Dragon Scale. Not every washed-up quarterback is a reclamation project. That was a hard watch. I'll tell you what's a hard watch. Every other reclamation project, Joe Flacco is doing better. Joe Flacco's been bad for like 8 seasons in a row, and he's been reclaimed. Behind one of the worst offensive lines in football, he's been reclaimed. Sam Darnold's working. Daniel Jones is working. Aaron Rodgers is working. Baker Mayfield is working. Every reclamation project is working, and we had one that was working. Geno Smith. I guess that's not working.
That did for a while.
Yeah, we've got nothing. We have absolutely nothing. We've got 2 from Mike Witt here. One is, as a Packers fan, I got to say I love your show. I've always thought you guys should have re-signed Darnold and traded JJ. I assume that means JJ McCarthy and not Justin Jefferson.
Yes, that's what he means.
And I'm not sure I would have done that, but I can understand it. The other thing is, not to pile on, but the Packers have been calling Miami about Devon Achane. Oh, if Achane and Jacobs combined,
That would
I
be,
hope not.
yeah, that would be pretty explosive. Yeah, getting him, and then you have Reed and Watson coming back. Yeah, that would be upsetting. And then the Packers would find a way to do it for some late round pick, and we'd be like, well, how did they pull that off? And yeah, that would be a nice jolt, I think, for your guys' offense, because the Packers offense is really good, but it feels like it's. I know Golden can run like the 4.29, but it still feels like you're missing that really explosive dude.
Devon Achane is arguably the most explosive player in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him, but he's very explosive. He's up there.
When he's healthy and he's on, he is a case for the most explosive player in the NFL.
And yeah.
We've got a pair here from Scott Merriman. Packers fan, I thought it was a pick six. What happened on defense? Were y'all getting gassed due to long drives? No, we just suck.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's that simple. We just suck.
Yeah, defense has just been really bad. And missing Van Ginkel has Dallas Turner has just not been what we were hoping for. He has every now and then he makes a play where you're like, come on, it keeps you holding on a little bit more. But without Van Ginkel, the pass rush has just not been what we were hoping for. The only time really this whole year, other than Rodgers' Bengals game, the only time you see a great play from the Vikings, it's going to be Jonathan Grenard or Redmond. It's the two of them. Grenard and Redmond are the only guys who seemingly show up week in and week out, and it's just not good. I see Demise says Ziggy jersey, please. Yeah, Rodgers with Jefferson, all-time duo. Would have been unbelievable. Perez.
It would have been. Jack Cohn starting for the Vikings would be kind of funny. This is from Ranger Halata. Why is everyone so high on the Lions when they're doing what the Packers got flamed for last year, destroying bad teams and losing to good teams? I don't know. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a decent football team.
Yeah, I think the Ravens with Lamar are a good team on Monday Night Football. Like the Lions. And
also, I was high on the Packers last year too.
Yes,
and I would be high on them this year again.
But the guys, the Lions are playing really. The Lions are playing good football, and they lost in Kansas City to who I think is the best team in football. So, and it was a close game in the fourth quarter before Kansas City opened it up a little bit more. Brady, Farmers Market, Farrington show. Yeah, I mean,
I'd do it.
Look, I'm not anti-farmers market. I'm not trying to. No, I'm really not.
You are.
I'm really not anti-farmers market. I'll go to a farmers market.
We'll wrap this up. This will be the last one from Keith Gray, a very generous donation. We appreciate it. Packers fan, but feel your pain. I never thought I would watch a Vikings channel, but you guys are that good.
No, that's very nice.
I'll say this.
That one made me feel better. Thank you, Keith.
I'll say this. You ever read the Letter of the Romans, Paul?
I mean, parts.
Romans 5:20. Moreover, the law entered that the offense might abound, but where sin abounded, grace did much more abound.
Yes.
What does that mean? I'm glad that from our suffering, there's some good coming out of this. Now, ask the Minnesota Vikings, does that mean you should sin so that there's more grace? No. Can they please start winning games? But at least if that's how this is going to go,
this camaraderie,
I'm glad that we're bringing joy to someone.
This camaraderie between Vikings, Lions, Packers, and Bears fans can grow. Yes, there's good that can come out of any situation as we dude, I mean, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Malik Willis for a first or second. No, please God. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think it's been a good show here. Really appreciate everybody. Again, one more. Yeah, look at the chat. Amen here. Yeah, amen to that, Ziggy. Really appreciate everybody for joining in for the chat tonight. We have 1.7 thousand people watching throughout most of this. Pretty cool. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it as we're chasing down for 25,000. Yeah, there's going to be something positive out of this. At least I guess at least we could grow the channel. Paul, euthanize me every October as a Brewers fan. At least you held the tears in. Sorry for the Brewers, for all the Wisconsin fans in here. That sucked. That was ruined for you guys and just didn't really show up. Bats went cold. All right. We're going to wrap it up. Everyone, hope you guys have a really good night. The number 2 most suffering Paul after Paul Farrington. That is pretty wild. Do you hear that, Ziggy?
No.
Do you want to say it again? Or?
Go ahead.
No, Midwest Mountain Man, the number 2 most suffering Paul after Paul Farrington.
That's pretty good. Also say this.
That's an
we did this one
unbelievable
super
comment.
chat from a shout out to Nashon Wright, absolutely popping off.
Nashon Wright, I think.
Viking.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Man,
everybody
who
leaves the Vikings
quote.
goes on to enjoy joy. That's what they get in their career. That's what everybody gets.
All right,
nice.
Everybody have a could be worse. Maybe I don't know. Actually, comments are on fire right now. These are hysterical. Appreciate it, everybody. We'll be back on Sunday. Post Packers Steeler. Okay, so it's a little bit of a weird schedule. We're not going to be able. Maybe a Bears Ravens. We'll see. Could be a Bears Ravens react. A little bit of a busy Sunday out of nowhere. But we will be on for Packers Steelers. Also, if you're going to the game, Jack will be there, and he's going to Bar Louie. He said, I believe, before the game.
That is what he said.
He said Bar Louie. So if you're a Packer fan going to the Steeler Packers game, Jack will be at Bar Louie. Hit him up in his Instagram. He's really excited to meet. There's a handful of people who have reached out and want to say hello. Maybe we'll even try and FaceTime him in or Zoom him in live after the game for some reactions. But that Packer-Steeler game is going to be awesome. I know that this totally sucks. How many subs for you to become a Packers fan? Like 1 million.
I'll tell you, if this video gets 100,000 views, I'll root for the Packers for a game. Not a Packers-Vikings game. Not even a Packers-NFC North game. But like the Packers-Panthers game? Sure, I'll root for Green Bay.
I think if this went for 100K, you'd need to. This is me saying it too. That you might need to pull out a bigger deal than that. Like that'd be pretty.
100K
cool.
would be our biggest video ever.
But yeah. So I still can't wait for that Packers-Steelers game. But dude, had we won tonight, I would have been so jacked up. I mean, you saw the thumb I made. Season saved. I was ready to say season saved tonight and go into Detroit. Really with like a chance to actually save the season. And now here we are, like it's just horrendous. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Hope everybody has hey, at least it's Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you after Packers Steelers. All right, let me real quickly just make sure this is over. Not yet, you speaking?
No, I'm listening.